Someone is crazy in love with you right now, and they can't stop thinking about you. Not because of your looks, not because of what you own, not because you said the right things. It's deeper than that. It's because you did something most people never do. Something that awakened a part of their heart they didn't even know existed. And here's what's wild, you might not even realize you did it. You weren't trying to impress anyone, you weren't playing games, you weren't following some relationship strategy. You were just being you. But that one thing you did, that single shift in how you showed up, it changed everything. And now someone can't get you out of their mind. They're thinking about you when they wake up, when they're alone, when they're trying to focus on something else. Your name keeps coming up in their heart. But here's the part that's going to blow your mind. This isn't just about romance. This goes deeper than feelings. There's a spiritual reason why this is happening right now, and if you don't understand it, you might miss what God is actually doing. Because the enemy doesn't want you to see this. He wants you confused, second-guessing, overthinking, wondering if you're imagining things. But you're not. Something real is happening, and before this video ends, you're going to understand exactly what it is, why it's happening, and what you need to do next. So don't click away. Don't scroll past this. Because what I'm about to show you could change the entire trajectory of your relationships, your purpose, and your future. Let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed that the moment you stopped chasing, people started pursuing you? The moment you stopped trying to prove yourself, others suddenly saw your value. That's not a coincidence. That's a principle. And it's playing out in your life right now in ways you haven't fully recognized yet. Proverbs 18:16 says, "A man's gift makes room for him and brings him before great men." Your gift isn't just your talent. It's who you are when you're walking in your truth, when you're aligned with God's purpose, when you're no longer performing for approval. And somebody saw that. They saw you when you didn't even know they were watching. They noticed the way you handled pressure, the way you kept your peace when everything around you was chaotic. They watched how you walked away from drama instead of feeding it. They saw you choose your integrity over popularity. And it stirred something in them. Because we live in a world full of people trying to be seen, but you became someone worth seeing. There's a difference. Most people are loud, demanding attention, creating noise just to feel noticed. But you went quiet. You stopped explaining yourself to people who weren't even listening. You stopped defending your choices to those who had already judged you. And in that silence, you became magnetic. Not because you were trying to attract anyone, but because you attracted the right spirit. You attracted the kind of energy that recognizes real when it sees it. Matthew 5:14 says, "You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden." You stopped hiding, but not in the way people think. You stopped shrinking yourself to make others comfortable. You stopped apologizing for taking up space. And that confidence, that quiet strength, it woke something up in someone who's been asleep for a long time. Now I need you to really hear this next part, because this is where most people get it wrong. When someone falls for you, it's easy to think it's about what you did for them. Maybe you helped them, maybe you were kind when no one else was, maybe you showed up when everyone else walked away. And yes, those things matter. But that's not what made them fall. What made them fall was what they saw in you when you thought no one was looking. They saw you worship when you had every reason to complain. They saw you give when you barely had anything left. They saw you smile through the pain, stand when you should have been broken, love when you had every right to be bitter. And that did something to their soul. Because real love isn't attracted to perfection. Real love is attracted to authenticity. It's attracted to someone who's been through hell and still chooses heaven. Someone who's been hurt and still chooses to heal. Someone who's been betrayed and still chooses to trust God. And you did that. You chose God when it didn't make sense. You chose faith when fear was screaming louder. You chose to believe in love when everything in your past told you not to. And now someone is crazy about you because they see the fruit of that decision. They see the peace you carry, the joy that doesn't depend on circumstances, the strength that doesn't come from your own power. Psalm 34:5 says, "Those who look to him are radiant, and their faces shall never be ashamed." You've been looking to God, and it shows. Your countenance changed. Your energy shifted. Your spirit became different. And that difference is what pulled them in. But here's where it gets tricky, and this is where I need you to stay with me, because the enemy is about to try to mess this up. He's going to whisper lies to make you doubt what's real. He's going to bring up your past to make you feel unworthy of this love. He's going to remind you of every mistake, every failure, every time you didn't get it right. And if you're not careful, you'll sabotage what God is building. You'll push away the very person God sent because you don't believe you deserve them. You'll create distance because you're scared of being vulnerable again. You'll test them, question them, make them prove themselves over and over because you're protecting a heart that God is trying to heal. But listen to me, God didn't bring you this far to let you destroy your own blessing. He didn't walk you through the wilderness just to watch you run from the promised land. This person who's crazy about you, they're not here by accident. They're not just someone who thinks you're attractive or interesting. They're someone who sees the God in you, and that's what they're drawn to. And if God is in it, you don't need to force it, manipulate it, or control it. You just need to trust it. Before we go any deeper, I need you to do something for me right now. If this message is already speaking to your spirit, if you feel like this video found you at the exact right time, I want you to subscribe to God's Prophecy Message channel. This isn't just content. This is a word that's shifting atmospheres, breaking chains, and opening eyes. And when you subscribe, you're saying yes to more revelation, more truth, more of what God wants to show you. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single message. Then drop a comment right now and say, "I receive this word." Speak it out. Let your faith meet the message. And if you're led, send a super thanks to keep this ministry going strong. Your seed matters, and God sees your heart. Now let's get back into this, because we're just getting started. There's something most people don't talk about when it comes to love, and it's this: the person who falls for you isn't falling for the version of you that you show the world. They're falling for the version of you that you are when no one's watching. They're falling for your character, not your performance. And that's why this love is different. See, you've probably experienced relationships before where people loved you for what you could do for them. They loved your time, your energy, your resources, your support. But the moment you stopped giving, they stopped caring. That wasn't love. That was a transaction. But this is different. This person sees you. Not just the highlights, not just the good days, not just the moments when you have it all together. They see the parts of you that you hide, the struggles you don't post, the fears you don't speak out loud. And they still choose you. That's rare. That's real. And that's exactly why the enemy is trying to steal it before it fully blooms. Because when two people come together who are both submitted to God, who both value character over comfort, who both choose truth over convenience, that union becomes a weapon against darkness. It becomes a testimony that destroys lies. It becomes a light that exposes every counterfeit the enemy has been pushing. And the devil can't have that. So he'll try to kill it before it even starts. He'll send distractions, confusion, fear, doubt, old wounds, and familiar voices from your past. He'll make you think you're not ready, not worthy, not healed enough. But here's what you need to know. If God is bringing someone into your life right now, it's not because you're perfect. It's because you're prepared. There's a difference. Preparation isn't about having it all figured out. Preparation is about being in a place where you can